What is up, Tress Troop? It is Tress to Impress, and I am back with another video. In today's video, I am going to be meal prepping y'all. On the menu for today, we have chicken, pork chops, green beans, sweet potatoes, squash, rice. So if you are interested in seeing me cook this massive meal prep, then stay tuned. Don't forget to make sure that you are subscribed, you give this video a big thumbs up, and leave some comments down below. Alright y'all, so now let's get into this video. This is a huge menu. So first I am going to be starting off with the squash. I already have my veggies washed down, and whenever I do my squash, I have to put green onions in. I have already washed my hands, of course, and I'm going to grab my apron really quickly and I'll be right back. Alright, so I have my apron now. Thank you guys so much for stopping by to check out the video on my channel. I really appreciate it. I hope y'all are having an amazing day, and we are about to have an amazing meal, y'all. So first of all, look at these squash. They are huge, and look at how bright and yellow. So I have 4 squash that are this size. So normally I would get a lot more squash, like I would get maybe 10 squash, but these are so massive that I ended up only getting 4. So I'm going to show y'all how I like to cut up my squash. So here we go. Okay, so when I cut my squash, I like to, of course, cut the ends off. Trash, trash. If you eat that part, that's your business. And then I like to cut thin discs. So you can see about the thickness of it, and I don't know why I like them in rings like that or discs. I guess because that's how my mama cuts them. But I pretty much cut the entire squash, and they will roll and get away from you. So you have to, if you lay it down like that as you cut, this process works a lot better. And you can do them as thin or as thick as you like. You can cut them whatever shape you like. I personally like this. Oh, look how big. That's the palm of my hand. So if that gives you any reference as to how huge these discs are. And then as I go, I'm just going to toss these on a plate to get them out of my cutting board space and keep it moving. And see, that one I didn't cut all the way through, so I don't like when they come out like that. I'm not going to throw it away, but I do not like when they come out like that. And the thinner you cut these, the quicker they will cook. The thicker you cut them, the more time it will take to cook them, of course. All right, so look at how beautiful those are. Okay, y'all, so here I have my mug with my bacon drippings in it. So what that is when you cook your bacon, it leaves fat in the pan, and the flavor is amazing.
What?
You save that fat in a cup. Now, let me tell you about this. Let me tell you my story, why I feel validated by this. Because I know some of y'all are going to come for me in the comments about how unhealthy that is and how disgusting and how gross and blah, 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 blah. But let me tell you. So, my girl, Aisha Curry, whomever. I'm not sure on the pronunciation of her name, but Stephen Curry's wife. She has her own kitchen line at JCPenney's. And I absolutely love the line, even though I haven't purchased any of the items for my own kitchen. She has a canister that's labeled bacon. It either says bacon or bacon drippings. And this is exactly what it's for. So all I needed was for homegirl to validate me on this, for me to just never stop using my bacon dripping. So here we go. This is what I like to use as my oil base for cooking my squash, and it gives an amazing like smoky bacon flavor. If you feel like saving the drippings, it's absolutely, I keep mine in the fridge. I know a lot of people keep it on the counter in a canister. But if you think that's absolutely disgusting, all you have to do is grab a strip of bacon, put it in your skillet, and fry it up right before you start cooking your squash. It's not that big of a deal, but I already have some here. So let's see. We want to get this front on. Still learning how to use this gas stove. Okay. So we want to scoop some of this out. Need at least a nice tablespoon, enough to coat the bottom of this. Okay, so while that's heating up in the pan, I am going to go ahead and start chopping my green onions. So I've already washed these down and cleaned them down really well. I'm going to start off with these two stalks like this, and we'll see if that's enough. I may have to add more. This really just depends on how much of an onion flavor you want in your squash. It adds a really pretty color, and I don't cut them super small. So let me show you guys. I cut them about like that size. And it's kind of like you're just sauteing these. Woo. Bacon grease popped me. Okay, so I have this skillet up really high, and it's almost like I'm browning the squash, almost like caramelizing it with its natural sugars. I am going to add some salt. Now remember, I use bacon dripping, so not a lot of salt because it's already pretty much salted. Let's add black pepper. If you have coarse black pepper, I really like how that tastes with this. But this will work as well. And lastly is a little bit of sugar, just to bring out the natural sweetness of the squash. So that was roughly 2 tablespoons. Now it's really going to start to caramelize now that we put the sugar in there. See the juices coming out. Keep it high. You want to keep it on high temperature. And add these onions. Now you can use the whole bunch of onion, but I think this is plenty for the flavor. Some people eat it for the onion. I mostly just like the onion flavor in it. Now this is not the healthiest way to cook squash, but it's good. Okay, so from there we are going to cover it and let the squash steam for just a bit. And I'm going to keep the heat up high for a little bit longer, and then I'll reduce it once the squash really starts to cook down. All right, so I am going to turn the temperature down to low on my squash, and just so you guys can see what it's looking like now. It's cooking down and it's about, so you just want it to steam really, and it's almost perfect. So we'll leave that on low. Next, I have rinsed my sweet potatoes, and I am about to go ahead and start peeling those. All right, y'all, so the sweet potatoes can be rough and tough and tricky. The time lapse can make it look easy. However, I want to show you in real time how I peel my potatoes. The sharper your knife is, the better, and this knife is not super sharp. And I'm kind of shaving away some of the meat of the potato. So my mom would be livid with me. But this is the easy way for me. I just kind of make sure my fingers are out of the way and just glide my knife across the potato like that until it's clean. And whenever I do sweet potatoes like this, where I have to peel them and cut them up, I try to get them smaller. So if I were baking them, I would want this size. This would not be good baked because the ends will be dried up and shriveled up. I just don't like long, skinny potatoes baked. But if you can find smaller, like longer, skinnier sweet potatoes for making candied potatoes, it will make your work so much easier, because it's easier to hold the potato in your hand and peel it versus peeling this, which is more rounded. I can just slide my knife down the length of the potato. And I make a mess, y'all. It's getting a little messy. And then also cutting through a sweet potato is very difficult. They are very dense. So if you can get a skinnier potato, it's easier to cut through. So I like to cut mine kind of into these little sections like that. And then I go back and take a section and stand it up and cut it into fourths. So it's not really bite size, but it's small enough to boil fairly quickly. And with these candied sweet potatoes, we boil them first and then we candy them. So, and the candy process is just adding sugar and spices and all things nice. I normally don't do honey, but I think I'm going to add a little honey in there too. And I think that's all the sweet potatoes we are going to use. So next I need some boiling water. Sweet potatoes, and I am going to drop them in the pot before my water is boiling, so that way when the water splashes up on me, it does not burn. All right, so those are in. We're gonna let them boil, and I am going to get started on the rice next. Okay, y'all, so I grabbed my boiling water for my rice. And I am going to add salt to this water. And all of my other seasonings and my butter and anything else I want to be in my rice, I'm going to wait until after I'm finished cooking it. Normally I will boil it all together from the very beginning so that the flavors can infuse, but I really want this rice to cook super fast, so I'm using this Success Boil in a Bag rice. It's super easy to boil. It's already pre-cooked. It doesn't stick together if you're not a great rice cooker. Hopefully we'll actually buy a rice cooker pot so that I can be better at cooking rice, but rice is just not one of my things. It seems like I overcook it, or I don't rinse the starch off well, and it's just like this mushy, clumpy mess. And I hate when leftover rice looks like mashed potatoes. Disgusting. I don't want it. Nasty. Okay, so I'm going to be, I haven't had this in probably some years, but I remember that even when this is left over, the grains don't clump together. So I'm going to be using this. We got to get our pot to a boil. Let's see, this is the front. So let's light it and get it to on high. Really, y'all, if you're pressed for time, go ahead and get your water boiling before you add salt, because the salt makes it take a little bit longer to get to that boiling point. But once I drop it into the pot, we're only going to cook it for 8 to 10 minutes. So, see you soon. Okay, y'all, at this point I have melted. This gas stove is not a joke. This thing is hot, period. It's hot. I thawed out some chicken breasts that I wanted to fry, but they already had these pork chops in the refrigerator and I didn't realize it or think about it. So today I'm gonna go ahead and cook the pork chops to go with the sides and meal prep that. And then towards the middle of the week, maybe this will get us through 1 or 2 days. And then towards the middle of the week, I will pull the chicken breasts back out of the fridge and I'll fry those. So, because I don't feel like doing all of it tonight. It is what it is. If I were Superwoman, I would do it all tonight, but I'm not, and I ain't. So he already had these pork chops seasoned. I think he told me parsley. It looks like seasoned salt and parsley. I'm not sure, y'all. So if he comes back in here, he's on the patio right now, but if he comes back in here, I'll ask him to tell me again what the seasonings are. I'm going to go ahead and get this front going with some heat. Some olive oil in this pan because I am going to cook the pork chops in the olive oil. So I already buttered it. So let's get some pepper, parsley. Now, when parsley is dried, I can't really taste it. So the parsley is more for garnish since it's dried. I'm going to do a little bit of seasoned salt, not a lot. A little bit of onion powder for flavor, not a lot. And a little bit of garlic salt for flavor, not a lot. Just a little. And then, so this oil is ready. And I'm gonna go ahead and put these pork chops down. I don't know if they will all fit, but I'm going to try to get them all in here at once. Perfect fit. And I'm going to check on these sweet potatoes so I can show you guys how I finish those off. Oh yeah, they're perfect now. So let's turn the rear off. Oh, we don't want it off. We just want to keep it on low because we are going to have to bring the sweet potatoes back to the heat, but I'm going to drain them. So I'm going to drain the sweet potatoes and I'll be right back. All right, y'all, I have drained the sweet potatoes. So these pork chops need a flip and they are super small and super thin. So they are going to cook super fast. So those are almost done, and I'm actually going to turn the front down a little bit so they can finish up cooking. And these sweet potatoes, let me show you what's about to go on. I'm going to turn them up, open this lid. Put in this butter. I'm pretty sure that's not enough. And you want this up. Turn it up, 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 up. I grabbed some more butter. You're going to need sugar. Sugar, 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 sugar. need sugar, you need, where's the cinnamon? Cinnamon, ground cinnamon, and ground nutmeg. And I'm going to use a little bit of honey. Where's my honey? Here it is. Stuff in the pantry is in a different arrangement every time I go in there. Every time. Literally. Every time. So the sweet potatoes are getting happy in there. I am going to add butter. So maybe about a stick of butter for the amount of sweet potatoes that I use. I already put a little bit less than a half, so I'm about to add some more. And this is not doing what I wanted to do, so I'm gonna turn it up a little bit more. I need a little jazz and pizzazz going on back there in that skillet, okay? All right, sugar is next. This is the candying process when you add the sugar in. Lots of sugar. Lots and lots and lots. Like when you think you have enough sugar, put more sugar.
You look like you know what you're doing over there, girl.
It has to be a lot. I do know what I'm doing.
Looking good, baby.
A lot of sugar. Okay. And then a little honey. If it's possible to even make this healthy, I guess the honey would be what's and the cinnamon. And nutmeg, just a little bit of the nutmeg. And we can turn these pork chops off. They are done. And let me show you the sweet potatoes. Okay, so there are the sweet potatoes. Of course, that sugar has to cook down and caramelize. That butter has to melt down. And I'm not really sure why it's not happening any faster than that, but I just turn the heat up a little bit higher. And see, when I turn the heat up high, it's more so coming out from around the pan and not really to the pan. So, and then the pork chops, and then the squash, and then the rice. All right, now I only have one more dish to make, and that is the green beans. Now these green beans are from Costco, so they are already, ready to go. I am going to remove these pork chops from the pan and put them to the side on a dish and use the same pan. I'm going to do about 3 handfuls, and that should be enough for our meal prep. Okay, I changed my mind on the green beans just that fast, and I decided to add a little bit of garlic for health and for flavor. Frozen veggies a little, and I'm going to add a little olive oil to this pan. And we need pepper and salt. All right, folks, thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure you leave me some comments down below. Y'all, we are headed for 1K subscribers. Look at this plate. Look at how beautiful. You have the rice, the pork chops, those green beans, the candy sweet potatoes, the squash. It looks absolutely amazing. So now for the taste test. Let's see. I'm gonna taste it first before I call my husband in here because he's my #1 critic. So let's see. Squash. It's good, y'all. Take that bite. See, I tasted it now. I can feed you. Take that bite. It's good. Rice. Okay, flavor. Let's see. Sweet potato. Now the sweet potato is hot, so. It's good, y'all. It could have more sugar, but it's okay like this. Pork chop seasoned to perfection. Babe! Yeah. Come here. I gotta let Babe taste this. That's the real taste test. If Babe likes it, and I melted, y'all, so excuse my face.
What's up?
You want to come taste this for the people?
Let's see what it's talking about.
There you go. You gotta bring
try
your
first.
Bring your face over here to the camera
Which
so we
one?
can see your real reaction.
Which one to try first?
Try whatever you want to try first.
You put walnuts in here?
Oh, I did make the green beans before, like honey walnut. But no, I didn't do that. I put garlic in it. Like it? I feel like I could have put more salt on some of it, but
It's fine.
you like it? Okay, because that kosher salt, let's not get coarse salt anymore because it's hard to.
That's all they had when I went.
Oh, because I'm not used to seasoning with that coarse. It's like big grains of sea salt, and I'm not used to seasoning.
This is my
that.
plate.
Yeah, babe, that's your plate.
Thank you. I love you.
I love you too. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this video with anyone and everyone. Anybody you think will watch this video, share it. If you want to learn how to cook for your man, share it. Okay, period. I will see y'all in the next video.